This review has been made possible by Toyota of Naperville. As you know, Toyota has tons of brand new Toyotas available for purchase. But did you know that they also have a remarkable selection of used cars? Head on over to toyotaofnaperville.com and look through hundreds of used cars for sale right now.
Alright, what's up guys? My name is Zach and today I am driving a 2014 Subaru WRX. Up front is a 2.5 liter turbocharged flat 4 and down below is a 5-speed manual transmission. If you'd like to read more of my thoughts, head on over to carmarshal.com/overdrive. But let's get back to that flat 4 2.5 liter turbo. Well, Subarus are obviously known for having flat 4s. It's sort of Subaru's thing. And what a flat 4 is, instead of the pistons going up and down, the pistons actually go out. This gives the car a lower center of gravity, and it's just something unique. It also gives the car a very unique sound. Because the car has unequal length headers, it actually gives the car a higher note as well as a lower note with the exhaust. That's why Subarus are so distinctive. But that's also why if you put unequal length exhaust headers on normal cars, they start to sound like Subarus, like the B-swapped Honda Civic that I drove. That had unequal length headers and sounded like a Subaru. But like I said, it's a turbocharged flat 4, which means this car likes to rev, likes to get into boost, and it likes to have a good time. While this is not the top trim level, this is not even the performance variant, the WRX is a sporty car. Traction control doesn't like me shifting that aggressively, but oh, it's so good. Boost hits around 4,500 to 5,000 RPM, and once it's in, it's in. Oh, this is a fun car to drive. It gets up and goes. It gets up and it goes. Now, like I said, paired to it is a 5-speed manual transmission. Nothing really too crazy here. The clutch is pretty easy to work with. The shifter really clicks into place. It's sort of, you gotta muscle it a little bit, but that's never been an issue. And last but not least, the WRX is, of course, all-wheel drive because it is a Subaru and not the BRZ, so, of course, everything gets their all-wheel drive system. So let's talk about the interior. Well, in front of me I have 3 gauge pods. On the far left is my fuel and coolant temperature. In the middle is my tachometer. I love a center mounted tachometer, really gives it that sporty feel. And then on the right is the speedometer. On the steering wheel I have buttons for volume on the left, phone controls at bottom left, and then on the right I have my cruise control options. To the left of me I have my power mirror switches as well as my dimmer switches, and then I have my window switches on the door. Now, the interesting thing on the door is that the door handle actually says Subaru all-wheel drive. I'm a sucker for misplaced badges or badges just put in odd spots. And I have to say, this is quite an odd spot to tell the owner that they have all-wheel drive, the door handles. But that's where Subaru decided to put it. In the center, I get a little digital readout for temperature and a clock, which is super nice up on the dash, really easy to read. They gave it this nice hood, so there's no weird glare that comes down on it. Then I do have a radio, FM, pretty standard radio. It is a little bit behind the times for 2014. I feel like 2013, 2014 was really when full screen digital radios kind of started to become more popular, and this isn't it. Down below the radio, I do have my heating and cooling vents. Then I have my controls for the heating and cooling. Again, nothing spectacular here. The temperature is in actual numbers between 65 and 85. I can tell the air conditioning where to go. It's not that crazy. Like I said, the shifter is real nice and notchy. This is not the factory shift knob. It's a little big for my taste. It kind of feels like I'm holding a pool ball. It's just a tiny bit too big. But like I said, this is not the stock shifter, so I can't really talk about that too much. Then I get cup holders and a handbrake. Now, the seats are comfortable. They do have higher bolsters on the side, but they're not annoyingly high bolsters. Like I always say, I am a bigger guy, and finding comfortable seats is sometimes a challenge, especially when you get into the sportier segment of cars. Well, these are sportier seats, but they are not uncomfortable seats, and I really, really like that. And this is a 4-door, so we will do a back seat review. All right, so we're in the back of the 2014 Subaru WRX, and nothing really too crazy back here. Sorry, I don't have a place to mount the GoPro, but I do have a center console. Again, the Subaru carries on. I don't know if you can see that on the GoPro. It carries on the door handles. It still says Subaru all-wheel drive. But pretty basic back seats back here. Something interesting, it says, do not touch. I don't know why you can't touch that, but Subaru says you're not supposed to. Honestly, not horrible back seats. So I've always had a gripe with early 2000s, late 90s Subaru back seats. They've always been super crammed, always been really tight. And honestly, it's not bad. It's a lot better than I thought. Although I don't get any amenities back here, it is what it is. Overall, with the interior, this has always been Subaru's weak point, at least in my own opinion. I never ever feel like I'm driving something premium when I'm driving a Subaru, because the interior doesn't have the most expensive plastics, isn't the nicest of the nice. And so while it doesn't feel bad in here, it definitely doesn't feel like I spent $1 million. And of course I didn't, and I'm not expecting every car that I drive to feel that way. The only reason I bring it up is because this is sort of a blanket Subaru statement. I mean, still, even the 2019s don't feel as premium as I wished. Going off of that, look at the center console. This is wrinkled. I don't know what from, I don't know why. But that just goes to show that's the sort of quality you get. I mean, this car is what, 5-6 years old? But that being said, let's get to the looks. These are aftermarket wheels, but I really like the look of the 2014 WRX. I think it looks sporty, I think it looks agile. One day I will find a 2012 Subaru WRX STI hatchback to review, but until that happens, this car I do think really looks good. And while the bronze wheels are not factory, they did come with factory bronze wheels that look different. And so at least it does stay true to that. But overall, I give the WRX a huge passing grade for the looks of it. I really think this is one of the best looking WRXs that was ever made. And so as we get towards the end of this review, I really came into this thinking that this car was going to be not weird, it was going to feel average, and that sort of thing. And I have to say, I am politely blown away. Because first of all, it's a lot quicker and a lot more responsive than I thought it was going to be. But also, it still sort of retains some of that Subaru quirkiness weirdness. And what I mean by that is take a look at the WRXs that I've reviewed in the past, a 2003 and a 2004, which are separated by front ends. They're weird looking cars. The bug eye looks weird. The blob eye looks weird. They have ridiculous hood scoops and ridiculous wings. I mean, they're weird looking, weird driving, weird sounding cars. And I really expected this to be bland because I figured that this was the end of Subaru's weirdness in America. But there's still some slight little droppings left by the weirdness mouse. Like I mentioned, the Subaru all-wheel drive sticker inside the door handles. Look at the scoop. The scoop is weird, and it still sounds like a Subaru. It still acts like a Subaru. And so this is really the end. This is the final bookend of weird Subarus. If you drive a 2019, they're not weird. They're cars. They're still quick, but they're just cars. This is the final weird WRX. And it's not even the crescendo. It's not like they went out with a bang and switched to normality. They just kind of faded away. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Huge thank you to Toyota of Naperville for getting me into their used 2014 Subaru WRX. I absolutely love Subarus, and I'm so happy that I finally got to review one from the 20 teens. I don't know what we're calling this decade, the 20 teens. If you'd like to check out this video, I will leave a link to it in the description below. If it has already sold by the time this video comes out, I will leave a link just to Toyota of Naperville. They have tons of Subarus on the lot. They have hundreds of used cars for sale all the time, which is absolutely awesome. So huge thank you to them. Their information is up on the screen. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to rate the video, comment on the video, and subscribe if you really liked it. Take care, guys.
There goes a sight from my soul.